What is up, Unreasonable Life community? Thank you so much for showing up to today's workshop. Today we're going to be going over the 4 types of content that every massage therapist needs to be posting, right? Of course, this is one of the posts that I see and the thing that I hear. I just don't know what to post. I'm always hearing this from massage therapists. I just don't know what to post. So we're going to solve that problem. I'm going to try to make it as easy as possible for you to know exactly what you need to be posting regularly. First, why do we want to be posting regularly? Because when somebody shows up, first off, people, even if you're not quote unquote getting business from social media regularly, people are using social media as a justifier for why they want to book with you, right? So let's say you're not getting a bunch of DMs on Instagram or whatever, and people are finding you on Google. The likelihood that they're still going to go check your Instagram, look at some of the posts, watch some of your videos is still really high, right? So they might not be DMing you from Instagram. Maybe they're DMing you from Google, but they're still going there just to help build more trust, right? They want to see your videos. They want to see your content. And what is there that is going to help them justify booking with you, right? So if I go to your Instagram right now, and we're going to focus on Instagram, TikTok will be similar. But for massage therapists, I feel like Instagram, at least for me, Instagram has been better at getting me local clients. So a lot of what I'm talking about is going to be for Instagram. So if I go to your Instagram right now, what's going to be there that's going to help convince me to book with you, right? And that's what we're going to be working on today. The goal of content on your social media isn't just to get views. Views are good. We want more eyeballs on our stuff. We want as many eyeballs on our stuff as possible. Yes. But really what we want to be doing there, as content is part of the discovery phase of your business. This is where people are finding out about you. They're discovering you. And this is one of the ways that we're helping people do that. One of the main things we want to do there is build trust. We want to establish brand and trust. Content is one of the best ways to do that. So yes, we want people to find us. So we want to make sure that we're there. It's free. It's free. So we want to make sure that we are using any free resource that we can, right? Social media is obviously the best one. Where else can I post one video? And even if I don't get a ton of views, let's say I get 200 views. That's 200 eyeballs on my thing, which a lot of people think is not a lot of views. And I just try to remind people, just picture 200 people standing in a room listening to what you have to say. It's a crap ton of people. So don't disrespect 200 views. All right. So yes, we want people to find us. We want to establish trust. That's what most of what we're going to go over today, right? We want people to understand us and connect with us. And we want people to believe that we are the solution to their problem. So the first type of content we want to be posting, or that I recommend that you're posting, is demo content. Many of you might have heard me talk about this before, but this is really just us showing off what it is that we do, right? With the goal of, when somebody sees our content, we want them thinking, that's exactly what I need, right? That move looks like it would solve my problem. So we're talking about demo content here. Again, just showing your work. But I see this, and I see a lot of people posting this type of content, and then I realize I need to go a little bit deeper, because people are filming like random body parts. They're filming like effleurage strokes or light strokes, or their target market isn't right. Like, I was coaching with one client, and I'm like, your target market is bodybuilders, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, then why do you have like a very small, dainty, older woman on here in your content? Do you think a bodybuilder is going to see that content and think, that's my therapist? Right? No. So who we have on the table is important. Is this person on my, we want that person to be a representation, ideally, if possible, a representation of our target market. So if I'm targeting bodybuilders, ideally, I want a big muscular bodybuilder on my table. If I'm targeting veterans, it's a little bit hard to target or to show that person, but I want somebody who looks like they could be in the military on my table, right? Not a 16-year-old, not an 18-year-old. I want like a military looking person on my table if I can. I want people to see themselves in my content. Okay. Secondly, when it comes to demo content, I want to be making sure that I'm posting moves that I resonate, that I like, that I want to target. If my main targets are neck pain, lower back pain, upper back pain, I'm not going to be posting a bunch of foot massage videos. I'm not going to be posting a bunch of knee pain videos, right? I want to be posting content that is that's what my ideal target market wants, and that I want to be posting content that brings me joy. I don't want a bunch of people on my table who have, again, if you hate working on legs, you don't want to be posting a bunch of leg pain content, a bunch of knee pain content, right? You want to be showing the problems that you're proficient at, and you want to be showing the problems that bring you joy in solving, right? So you got to kind of think about, like, what do I want to be known for? When somebody sees my content, like for me personally, I want to be known for neck and traps, upper back, lower back, right? I'm very proficient at these areas. So you'll notice my content is mostly working on those areas. I had a guy DM me on Instagram the other day. He goes, okay, so I can see you're really good at neck and neck and shoulders, but what about wrists? I'm like, wrist pain, yes, I'm good at it. But the reason you're not gonna see a bunch of content for wrist pain is because that's not what I want to fill my schedule up with. If that makes sense. Okay, so if you want to work with 45-year-old active women with neck pain, then stop posting 22-year-old male body workers or bodybuilders getting calf work. This seems like common sense, but people aren't doing it, right? Again, your target market should see themselves on your table, and you want to show work you want more of. If you want neck pain clients, post neck work. If you want athletes, show athletes. If you want prenatal clients, show pregnant women on your table, right? If you want TMG work clients, post yourself doing TMG work, right? And then you want to do the techniques in a way. This is another big mistake people make. You want to film the techniques and show the work in a way that somebody on the other side watching that video says, that looks amazing. That looks like it feels amazing. That looks like it would solve my problem. That looks exactly what I need for the problem that I have. Right? This type of content alone has been one of the most successful content strategies that I've had. Just demo content, just posting videos that look like they feel amazing on a problem area that I'm really good at solving. And then I put those in ads and got tons of clients from them. I posted those videos regularly, organically, and got tons of clients from them. Right? So just demo content alone, if done right, can really bring you in clients. Some of the things I've seen, again, you're filming like light, flowy effleurage strokes. those look like that'll be great if you're attracting somebody who just wants relaxation. Here's the problem. What massage therapists view as relaxation and what clients view as relaxation are two different things, right? What you'll hear from clients a lot of times is, I just want to relax. But what they're actually meaning is, I want to relieve this tension. I want to relax this tension. I'm feeling tense and I want it to go away. So what massage therapists hear when they hear relaxation is light, fluffy, flowy work. So even though even people who say they want relaxation, they actually want tension and pain relief most of the time. So you need to, especially in your consultations, I know we're not talking about that today, you need to clarify anytime somebody says they want relaxation massage, clarify if that means they want really light, flowy work that just makes them go to sleep, or if that means that they have a bunch of tension in their body and they feel tense and they want that to relax and go away. Meaning tension for a lot of clients is what they would call pain. Okay? Now, in your demo content, the more unique you can be, the better. Right? It gives you, anything that might give you a unique positioning, any unique stretches or movements that you can do, any cool tools that aren't super popular yet, any unusual or unique techniques. One that's standing out for me right now is the people who do the internal mouth massage for the jaw pain, headaches, all those things. Those videos are doing really well because it's unique, something that people don't see all the time from everybody, right? Every massage therapist doesn't do it. I don't do it, right? So if you do something like that a lot of people don't do, and you want to have more of that, for sure, post videos like that. One of my coaching clients started doing that technique. I told them, like, you need to film that, you need to post that. So they filmed a couple of those videos. They posted some in some Facebook groups, and they posted some on Instagram, and both of those did really well. They got a bunch of clients from the Facebook groups. On Instagram, organic, they got clients from there as well. That video also did really well, just organically, with organic views. And I said, let's boost that post. Let's get more eyeballs on that post. That post did really well for them as far as bringing clients in. Okay. So, demo content. We want to show the people on our table. We want the right target market, the right type of client on our table, right? If we're targeting bodybuilders, don't have a 55-year-old small woman on your table if your target's bodybuilders. If your target is athletes, put an athlete on your table. If your target is bodybuilders, put a bodybuilder on your table, right? We want people to see themselves. If your target is women, don't put a man on your table. Okay? If your target is men, don't put women on your table. Have your target market, ideally, if you can, on your table. Again, making sure that the technique that what we're filming is hopefully unique. If it's not unique, at least make it look like it feels amazing. Oftentimes that means slowing down. That means making sure we're not flipping over knots, because we can see that in video. I want it to look like it feels amazing. I want it to look deep enough that it feels like it's doing something beneficial. Slow enough to show that I'm paying attention and that I care. These are the things that cause people to see the video and say to themselves, I need that. Just that content alone, if it's done right, can absolutely get you clients. Okay, second type of content I believe you should be posting is how-to content. I used to do a much better job at this than I do a lot of this with coaching, but with my massage business, we used to crush it with this. We got a ton of clients and engagement from how-to content, even when I didn't have even without a lot of followers, right? But this is more like, we're going to help people here before I ever take any money. right? This is where we are serving first. We are giving first. And I love the quote, and I'll say it many, many times. It comes from a barber on here, a barber school. He says, giving starts the receiving process. And this is one of the places where we can be giving up front, having the client in our mind, serving them and helping them through this process, right? So this is where we're going to teach people how to solve their own problem. We're going to teach them how to do it, right? Something like, try this if your neck hurts when you turn left. Do this stretch after sitting at a desk all day. If you wake up with headaches, do this move or check this. Here's 3 things I would stop doing if I had lower back pain. Try this before your next squat session, right? Now, a lot of people don't want to do this. They don't want to actually help people solve their problems, is because they fear that if I teach them how to solve the problems themselves, they won't need me, right? But that's actually backwards. When we genuinely show up to help people in our content, we build trust. And the truth is, most people don't want to do it themselves. They don't want to fix their own problems. Some people will, and then if you get them a win, and the time comes, they'll probably figure out a way to get a massage or use your service over somebody else's who hasn't given them these wins, right? So we want to make sure that we're solving some sort of small problem in our content when we're doing the how-to content. Again, most people don't want it. They don't want to do it themselves. Well, what it's going to do in their mind, it's going to show that you know what you're talking about. It's going to show that you're an expert in your field. It's going to build massive trust in their mind. It's going to build goodwill, as Alex Hormozy would say. You're going to have a ton of goodwill in their mind. And when it comes time for them to actually make a decision to book a massage, they're going to think of you first because of all the great content you've already put out for them. Now, when I say solve problems, I don't mean or how to or I don't mean we're just going to educate, right? I want to actually solve problems, right? There's a big difference between the trapezius as a large superficial muscle, and if you have always felt the need to be digging into this spot right here, here's what might actually be going on, and here's what you can do to solve it, right? So we have a specific problem, a simple action, and a clear result, right? Here's the problem that my ideal client deals with. Here's why it might be happening. Here's how to solve it yourself at home. If you don't want to do it yourself at home, check the link in my bio and book a session or lead them to some sort of freebie, right? It's really that simple. If you're ever getting fearful that people aren't going to want to book with you because, well, I just helped them solve their neck pain at home. Again, most people don't want to do it themselves. This type of content also becomes a little bit more shareable because people might they might be looking at a problem that their friend deals with, and they might send that video to their friend because that neck pain that you're having or that you just talked about reminds me that my friend had a headache yesterday, and so I'm going to send it to them, right? Okay, so we want demo content, we want how-to and education content. Again, we're solving problems in that content ideally. Number 3 is we want storytelling content, right? Because we want to. This really aids in helping people understand how we think. This type of content really connects and helps people connect with us. It allows people to learn who we are without just sitting there telling them who we are. It allows them a window into how we think, what we believe, why we do things differently. So we want to be telling stories about clients that we've helped, mistakes that we've made, lessons that we've learned. Maybe the story of why we became a massage therapist, why you started the business that you're in. Why you changed your approach with something, how you why I used to do it this way, and what made me change, right? Maybe something a client said that reminded you of a story or a lesson. A moment that surprised you. Business lessons, a personal experience, right? Things you agree or disagree with in your industry. All of these are great storytelling ideas. The only thing you need to do is you need to start writing down the ideas. I keep a notes app on my phone. Any idea that pops into my head, I either just say, "Hey Siri, remind me," and then talk about the idea, or I put it in my notes app for storytelling ideas that I have for content. And so far, my favorite storytelling framework is hook, story, lesson. That's for value add. And then hook, story, lesson, call to action if I want them to do something specific that day. So the hook is really what happened, right? An example hook might be a client told me something last week that bothered me. The story that I'm going to go into what happened, the lesson, right? What did I learn or what did I realize after that? And then it could just end there. Again, if this is an email, if this is a video, if this is value add content, where we're not asking for anything, we're just giving a new perspective, giving insight, giving a lesson, something like that. And then if you want them to do something like book an appointment, grab your freebie, download an offer, whatever it is, you just insert that hook, right? It's like, what do I want them to do next after hearing this? So what happened? I'm sorry. Hook, story, lesson. A client told me something last week that bothered me. Then we're going to tell what happened. Then we're going to talk about what did we realize? What was the lesson? And then if necessary, we're going to do some sort of call to action. I recommend if you're posting every day, doing at least one call to action every week or two a week, right? I like to follow Gary Vee's jab, 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 right hook. We want 75 to 80% of the stuff we put out to be value add, with 20% to be making it ask for something. You want to have a balance. You don't want to never be asking, and you don't want to always be asking. You want to be giving more than you're asking in your content. Fourth type of content you should be posting: testimonial content, right? Because I want to have as much proof. If my goal is trust in the marketplace, I want to have as much proof as I possibly can in the marketplace, online. I want Google reviews. I want video testimonials from clients, right? I don't want to just say, "Hey, I'm great at helping with neck pain," right? I want to have a client saying that. I want to have a client say, "I haven't been able to turn my head in 6 months, and after working with Michael, I finally can." Right? Me saying it and them saying it do not hold the same weight. Them saying it holds way more weight. Okay? Now, at a minimum, do I want you, like if I text a client, I always follow up with clients a couple of days later. "Hey, how are you feeling after your massage a couple of days ago?" And then a lot of times I'm getting a really good response. "Oh my God, I feel amazing. It was great." At a minimum, I want to be screenshotting those text messages and posting them in my stories, right? I might have a client testimonial highlight on Instagram where I'm adding those highlights so people can hit those testimonial button and then just see all the actual things clients are saying to me one-on-one. Or I want to be screenshotting reviews, maybe occasionally posting 5 or 10 reviews from people that are 5 stars. That's bare minimum. Bare minimum, we need to be doing that, right? The next thing you could be doing is screenshotting those. On TikTok, it makes it a lot easier because there's a green screen where you can post a picture behind you and then you can come up and make a video about or tell a story about. Now we're combining things. if I post a review from a client and then I tell the story about, you know, what their problem was, what they had tried before, how it affected their life, what they did what I did differently, and then what changed, what was the result, right? So I'm not just sharing a compliment, I'm talking about the transformation that they had, right? That's the second thing, is I can be taking the reviews and then making videos and posts and green screen videos with them. The third thing you want to be doing with testimonials is actually having clients do a video testimonial for you. Whether that's like I have a client coming in next week. I'm about to text her, hey, before your session next week, would you be open to me shooting a testimonial video? It'll take like 5 to 10 minutes before your session. And then I'll have that. And then what I do is I overlap that video with massage techniques, whether that's from that session that we do that day, or it's from a different session. It doesn't matter. I'll have her talking. You can go to my Instagram right now and see one that I have up there, client testimonial video, where she's talking, and then it'll insert some video of me massaging. And it'll go back and forth from her talking to my massage, her talking to my massage. Those do really well. And then I've boosted that post a lot. That video has gotten me a lot of clients. The more enthusiastic the person in those testimonials, the better, right? The more bought in they are as a client for you, the better, right? I'm a little bit pickier with who I do this with. The clients that I'm choosing to do this, they are enthusiastic about the quality of my massage, about the results that they've gotten with me, right? And so it should do well on camera, the more enthusiastic they are. And then again, you want to just be constantly encouraging people to leave you reviews on Google, on Facebook, wherever it is you are hosting reviews at, on Yelp. And when you're asking for reviews, I highly recommend, instead of just saying, hey, could you leave me a review on Google? I want you to encourage people to tell the story, right? Same thing. Tell them about what problem you had before, what you had tried to solve it, how it affected your life, what made you choose me, and then what was the result of working with me, right? Something like that would be much better than Michael gives a great massage, I highly recommend, right? Are those okay? They're better than nothing, right? I'll take it, but those are not the things that move people. Michael's the best. Go see him. Those are not the things that build a ton of trust. Like, yes, I want those too, because maybe it leads me to 150 reviews. I'll take that, but I want stories. I want transformation in those reviews if I possibly can. All right, let's go bonus round. The fifth type of content, personality and belief, right? People have choices, right? There's probably hundreds of massage therapists in your city. There's probably thousands in mine. So why you, right? So we want to be maybe talking about the things that you believe, that your standards, your values, your personality, your opinions, right? Maybe it's something like, I don't believe every massage needs to hurt to work. Or I'd rather refer you out than pretend I can fix everything. Or here's why I don't charge for cupping, or here's why I do. Right? Or I don't want you to depend on me forever. Right? So what are some of the things that you believe around your profession? This is not me saying I think you should get political. I personally don't think you should get political. You do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I don't personally believe we should get political. I'm happy to let you disagree with me on that. But good. If you do choose to, great. Right? That's another niche target market that you could go after. But this will help reveal some people who really are more like our personality. So one of the things I started doing before was I started putting hip hop music in my videos, because I'm like, I don't want to just be professional. I want to show some personality. I started doing funny content, not even just like what I believe, but just showing my goofy side, um, trying to show more of my personality and who I am versus just some stuffy professional. And the more comfortable I get with that, the more I attract people who are like me, right? I want to be around people who are like me if possible. Okay? So, every week, here's your content formula. You can do this, take this, run with it, and see how it works for you. But let's get 2 demo posts per week where we are showing off our work, we're making it look really good, we're making people in their minds say to themselves, that looks like it solves my problem. So let's post 2 of those a week. We're going to do 1 how-to post, 1 story, and 1 testimonial or belief post. All right, this is just 5 pieces of content a week. All right, you don't need to dance on social media if you don't want to. You don't need to chase every trend. You don't need to become an influencer. You just need to be consistent with your content. You just need something that when people stumble across your page or they have your video and they go to see, you know what, I need a massage. I need this service. I need that service. I need handyman service. I need plumbing. Whatever the services that you provide, when they come across your page, what is it that's going to build trust? What is it that's going to give me the reason to choose you over everything else? I need to post in a Speedo. All right, let me go through some of these comments real quick. Kyle says, you're one of the most hardworking people I know. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Listen, if I posted I'm on TikTok Live. He said, you need to post in a Speedo. I'm trying to get clients, brother. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the body for that right now. I got a elite level dad bod at the moment. And I don't know if that's going to work for me. It'll definitely get attention, but it might give me the wrong attention. Right? But if you're doing that on a regular basis, am I some social media? Well, then maybe I'll do it for you, Kyle. I'll do it for you. But if am I a social media guru? Absolutely not. Right? Am I the best on social media? I'm not. Am I getting clients from social media? I am. I had 2 clients booked this week from Instagram. Right? So, and it's just because I show up there consistently. I've done the things that I'm talking about in this training. I've done, and it works. It might take some time. It might take a little bit of tweaking the message, tweaking the target market, but it works. You just have to show up consistently. Are you going to be able to have 1 video? No. Okay, let me go a little bit further because this is all about organic content. The strategy I give all my clients, the next thing I tell them, my coaching clients, the next thing I tell them to do is the reason I want you posting regularly is because, thanks for the likes, Brittany, is because you're going to see what videos work, right? The more volume you put out there, you're going to see what videos work. And then once you find something that works, that gets comments, that gets engagements, that gets views, then you can take that video and boost it on Instagram. And then get a ton more eyeballs on it without having to work as hard. And this is all I do. And I think, I don't know the time frame, but I swear I got like 400, 500 followers over the last year on Instagram. That's not a ton. My old Instagram got hacked. I had to start over fresh. So it took me about 2 years to build back up to 1,000 followers on Instagram. But I'm over 1,000 followers. It was like 500 within the last year. And definitely booking clients from that as well. I wasn't even crazy consistent on Instagram. Maybe I'll run a test. But all you do, post organic content, see what works, and then once you find something that actually hits, boost that post, put $100 a month behind it, and get 10,000 or more views on that post. Again, you want to have a good call to action. You want to have some sort of offer in the link in your bio that all works towards somebody booking an appointment with you. Guys, that is probably going to be my time today. Thank you so much. Again, go and do that. If you're not doing that, don't make this harder than